What is up, my fart sniffers and barf lickers? Welcome back to Trades and Gains. I'm your host, Max Pitts. And before we jump into today's video, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We put out daily videos on current market events. And while today, America's government might shut down this week, as we covered in yesterday's video. But guess what? Trump is coming out, and instead of saying, grab her by the hoo-ha, he's saying, look at how big my balls are. Because apparently we're the only country in the world where the lights stay on depending on whether Chuck Schumer and Donald Trump can share a juice box without stabbing each other through the neck with a straw. And don't worry, the stock market is still at record highs, which basically means if we go into a shutdown, your 401k might still look good right up until the moment TSA agents start working for free and decide that your carry-on deserves to be cavity searched, well, just out of spite and because they don't like you. So, as always, here's the setup. Trump calls lawmakers from both parties to the Oval Office here. This is his Hail Mary play. This is fourth down, 2 seconds to go on the clock. You're 60 yards out, and you're trying not to lose the game, and you're just going for what we like to call a Hail Mary. It sounds serious, right? Except the question isn't whether there'll be an actual deal. It's whether anyone brought popcorn, because this isn't about compromise. It's about theater. The Democrats want healthcare subsidies extended. Republicans, well, they want a clean bill, no strings attached. And Trump, well, he wants the ability to cancel spending Congress already approved. Think about that. That's like you signing a lease, moving in, and then the landlord just showing up saying, yeah, we decided to keep the rent, but turn off the water. Good luck, champ. And the Supreme Court just said he can't do that. They ruled Trump can use what's called pocket recessions, which basically means he can take Congress's wallet, pull the cash out, and tell them to enjoy the receipt. So, if there's no deal by Wednesday, by 12:01 a.m. or 11:59 p.m., boom, mic drop, shutdown. So here's what happens with this. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers will be furloughed. Yep. Friday's jobs report, that's going to be delayed, which means the Fed is flying blind into rate cuts next month. And the federal agencies already told to prep for mass firings, not just unpaid leave here, folks, because if you thought morale was bad before, wait until the White House tells you to clean out your desk so Elon Musk can buy your stapler on eBay. Shutdowns used to be furloughs. Now, Trump's team is whispering reduction in force. Reduction in force. Translation, pink slips, baby. Pack that desk up, take your little cactus out, and go break that news to your wife who already wants to divorce you, because this is just that nail in the coffin that'll finally allow you to leave her because you are now unemployed. Now, here's why this matters for the economy. The Fed has its next big meeting in October. As I mentioned, to make decisions, they need jobs data, inflation data, and GDP reports. Without those, Powell and company are basically, well, throwing darts at a board and hoping they hit something blindfolded. Goldman Sachs says if this lasts a few weeks, unemployment could tick higher. Not because businesses are collapsing, but because government workers will technically count as unemployed. Imagine losing your paycheck and being the statistical reason why Wall Street panics. And GDP, well, every week the government is closed, the economy, it's going to lose billions. A month-long shutdown shaves off about 0.5% of GDP growth. That may sound small, but to a fragile economy like we're living in right now, that's like blowing out your ACL right before the playoffs, or if you're Malik Neighbors this last Sunday. Meanwhile, Wall Street is sipping martinis like shutdown. That's cute. And the S&P's up. The NASDAQ's fine. Well, why? Because investors assume this will be short. But let's go ahead and just play this out for everybody. A week shutdown? Meh. Market yawns. No one cares. Act like it never happened, right? A month shutdown? Now you've got missed data, delayed economic reports, and Powell trying to steer the Fed blindfolded. That's when volatility creeps back in. Drag it out even longer, confidence tanks, foreign investors wonder if America is still the safe bet, quote unquote, And the only thing still going up is gold in this case, because every time Washington throws a tantrum, gold gets treated like the apocalypse pantry. Now, here's where it hits regular people. Social Security, Medicare, veterans benefits, still going out. But food programs like WIC and SNAP, those balances, well, they run out fast. So yeah, your grandma still gets her check, but low-income families could be deciding between ramen and, well, air sandwiches. Federal employees, some will be furloughed, some forced to work without pay. TSA and air traffic controllers, they're still going to show up. But now they're broke and angry. You think security lines are bad now? Try getting frisked by a guy who hasn't been paid in 3 weeks. Yeah. National parks, maybe closed, maybe open, depending on, well, how sadistic the administration feels. Museums, yeah, those are closed. Capitol tours, closed. But don't worry, the animals at the National Zoo still get fed, unlike some federal workers. This is the part that always kills me, though. Both sides think the other side will take the blame. Democrats want healthcare funding, Republicans want a clean bill, Trump canceled meetings, rescheduled meetings, and then said, will there be a shutdown? Could be, yeah. That's the president version of meh, I don't know. And with the Supreme Court blessing Trump's ability to cancel spending after a deal, why would Democrats even negotiate at this point? It's like playing Monopoly where Trump is the banker. Spoiler, somehow the bank always goes bankrupt. So, what's our big takeaway? You're probably like, Max, why do I care about any of this? Oh my God, like I just trade 0 date to expiration options. Well, you're an idiot if you do that only. I mean, you're not an idiot, but like, I don't think you're probably not very profitable, but this is why you should care about this. Shutdowns aren't just bad politics. They're bad economics. They shake confidence. They make us look dysfunctional, like that girl that everyone says is crazy when indeed she's just getting treated like shit, right? Think about it like that. And they hurt the very people Washington is claiming to protect right now. So it's like a complete hypocrisy that we're living in. Best case, this drags a few days. We all go back to yelling about the Fed. And the worst case, weeks without paychecks, no jobs data, unemployment ticks higher, and America looks like a banana republic with nuclear weapons. The average American doesn't care about continuing resolutions or pocket recessions. They care about paying rent, buying groceries, and making sure TSA doesn't collapse into full anarchy to where you're getting a cavity search just because they want to piss you off. So buckle up, folks, because once again, your economy, your retirement, and your job prospects are hanging on whether, well, Washington's toddlers can stop fighting long enough to keep the lights on. Welcome to the Real Housewives of the Central Bank, because that's pretty much what our government has turned into. Anyway, that's all I got for you folks today. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, leave your hottest take in the comments below and your favorite part of the video. And if you want to use Investor Central Club, by the way, we still have that promo going on. Use the code CLOSINGBELL20 and you can get 20% off your first month. And by the way, most members make enough money in their first month to pay for a full year subscription up front. So come join us, myself, Eric, Chemo, Chef, and the rest of the squad. Hang out in the Discord, get some options flow, and come get that money. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next episode. I hope everyone's having a great day today. Happy Monday to everybody, and happy national government shutdown. Woo! Bye.